that one does. It's a legendary enchantment from Ixalan, 1 in the blue. During your upkeep, you can look at the top card of your library. If you don't want it, you can put it in the graveyard. And then if you do, and you want to, oh, we got some gameplay going. We might see it soon.
We might see it. I've seen that card see play actually in Legacy. A lot of those Miracles decks are kind of really adopting that card. So we have Kevin led off here, Volcanic Island. Soul Ring into top with a Lotus. Pretty strong. Pretty strong turn 1.
I agree. There's a lot of mana in production for next turn.
Oh dear, we already hit time. Unfortunate. Oh. Sorry guys, another draw.
Oh, don't not like this. Not like this. Yeah, so Kevin's mana production a little more vibrant than what Akash has, but hopefully that doesn't mean that he's not doesn't have as much power in his hand. No pun intended, because there's a Lotus in play.
Cute. 5 out of 7.
5 out of 7.
5 out of 7.
Okay.
So Kevin's altars, it's going to be one of those things where I feel you're either going to love them or hate them.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you love him or hate him?
I'm a fan of some of them. I like his power altars a little better.
Okay. How about that preordain?
Preordain? Maybe like a 4 out of 7.
4 out of 7?
4 out of 7.
I like the preordain. Everything's recognizable, I would say. That's the important part, is that no matter what the which direction the artist went with, it still looks like the card.
So it looks like double force over here. I like this. I like the Sensei top. I think that's a solid 5 out of 7 altar. Like a hard 5 out of 7.
It's not as there's not as much done to the art with that one. I mean, there's still a little bit, but it's more border extension than the other ones that he's showcasing right now. Got a preordain on Akash's side as well.
I'm always amazed just the kind of the idea for the altars they come up with. Misstep.
Trying to figure out if that misstep is on. Like,
that one's more of a 3 out of 7 for me.
Oh,
I don't know. That's a 3 out of 7.
So let's see what Kevin decides. Yeah, another land.
It looks like he's just land. I'm not sure if he has much business in his hand right now.
We need some sort of payoff card.
Akash has, looks like double force, Jace, and Dak Faden.
Yeah, he's going to be able to force through that Dak if he chooses to do so this turn.
So if he runs out Dak Faden and resolves, what would you do? Do you steal something? Do you draw some cards?
That's a really good question. I'm not against stealing Soul Ring. I think Soul Ring's a pretty good choice. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could steal Black Lotus, but that's more of like a destroy target Black Lotus. I think Soul Ring, if he's looking to push his mana ahead, is a better choice.
And wait, what is happening? Oh, he's just shuffling.
Yeah, he's just shuffling his deck. It's a professional thing to do. So there's Dak. He's going to fetch a response. Probably going to top to see if he has an answer for it. Look at all those altars.
So many altars in there.
I like the consistency of the volcanic.
So many altars.
Force of will.
I don't think he has a card that is not altered.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Good on you, Kevin. Really committing to it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Forces back.
What did Kevin pitch?
Looked like a Snapcaster maybe.
Okay.
Or Akash just pitched one. Kevin didn't pitch anything.
He
had
just
the mana.
he just slam pieced it. Yeah. So Dak.
Yeah, let's see what he chooses. That looks like
and
one.
He's taking the Soul Ring.
Yep, good choice, buddy. It's like, that looks pretty, I'll take it.
And Snapcaster at the end of turn looks like is going to eat Dak.
That's probably what's going to happen. That's right. There's nothing right now that he can rebuy, is there?
Yeah.
Everything's sorcery speed or too expensive.
He can rebuy a mental misstep.
He can? Well, that's a...
Yes.
He might not do that. He does have a blue floater, for what it's worth.
He's going to use it at the top.
Good choice.
Keeps the order. And there's Dak feeding. Dig through time. Oh, the dig through time did not look altered, by the way. I am not sure that one, the alter count.
I really feel like you should commit to that alter.
It did not look altered. This is erroneous. Oh, no, it is.
It's border extended.
Border extended.
You're wrong.
I lose that one.
I think everything is just altered.
Yes.
So, yeah, you can have that one.
Does he still has another force in hand? Akash, right?
I believe he does,
yes.
I think he has a Jace in hand as well, which is probably...
Does he have 2 or 3 cards? I'm not quite sure. It looks 2. It looks like 2.
It does look like 2.
Yeah. Oh, my God. All the altars. Man, look at that.
It's pretty beautiful.
Do you get these from, like, the judge program, maybe?
I can tell you've never been a part of the judge program.
How much do you think it costs to get one of these altered like that?
To get an original artist?
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So... I think that's the same top. So he may have...
I think, all of his altars are the same. So
yeah, take through time.
For the card.
He does have 2 tops in his deck.
Okay, so I think his hand was force blue card, so he let the dig resolve so he could dig himself, I believe.
Okay.
Then did he pick up a Jace there, it looks like?
I think the Jace was already in his hand when he had the deck out, so he wanted that Jace. He wanted the Soul Ring to cast that Jace.
Yeah.
It really came down to.
Here's Jace, Demonic Tutor, Pyroblast, and Force of Will. So he has 2 Force of Wills, Demonic Tutor, Pyroblast. Looks like a Mox and Dig Through Time.
Lots of counter spells in hand.
So he has the Force of Will, Pitch Force, and a Pyroblast up online right now.
Yeah. Smart of him to... I don't know if he had that Pyroblast in hand when...
No, he got the Pyroblast off the Jace Brainstorm.
Yeah, that's pretty smart that he kept the Volcanic.
And there's the Miser Thoughtseize. So did Kevin just draw Ancestral?
Did he?
I look like it.
Okay. Well, he's going to have to do better than Thoughtseize to resolve the Ancestral, because there's 2 answers there, and you can only get rid of 1.
What do you just take the Dig Through Time here, right?
I think so.
You have to reside yourself to, all right, you're going to have to fight through these counters, but if you take the Dig Through Time, then you know, at least he only has Jace now, kind of as trying to drum up card advantage.
Yeah.
Takes the Pyro.
Okay. So he's if he ends up playing the Ancestral, he's looking for Akash to kind of 2-for-1 himself.
He's gonna spin top. Let's see what he's got. Land. Could not see what the card he just put on top was.
None of them look good right now.
And he ships back. He's just going to wait with the Ancestral. Did he just pick up another Pyroblast? It looked like he just drew another Pyroblast.
Oh, man. I think he did put one back, so that makes sense.
Looks like he did. So he's, picked up the Pyroblast. He's going to Brainstorm.
Got a, it looked like a Underground Sea, the Demonic, and a second Jace.
Yep. The Mox is still up there.
The Mox?
Yeah, he had a Mox there.
I thought it was a land of some sort. Okay.
So he's still got the 2 forces, the dig. Look like he picked up Pyroblast. Yeah.
He's crafting his hand.
So he's going to Pyroblast here. What did he pick up?
Oh, that looks like that's an Abrade.
Oh, Abrade.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, that was the red card.
Yep.
A promo Abrade.
Abrade your Snapcaster, 3 damage mode.
We're going full premium here with the cards.
Yeah.
Spare no expense. Minus that polluted Delta earlier.
Yeah, happens.
So it looks like he passed turn back to Kevin. We're going to be top spinning here, see what we can draw. And spins top. And looks like a Pyroblast, a land, and can't tell what the card in the middle is.
Yeah, me neither.
Did he keep the Pyroblast on top?
I don't know.
So Akash is setting up here for his end, or Kevin's end of turn. He's going to dig through time. And here we go.
Yeah, Kevin's just not finding the opportunity to cast that Ancestral. It's just been sitting in his hand. He really needs it to resolve if he wants to get...
Yeah, Kevin just spinning the top, just stuck with... He's going to fire it off now.
Yeah, let's try this.
Before Akash has an opportunity to maybe run into a mental misstep, kind of at least force getting the 2-for-1, so to speak, out.
Yeah. So, if he kept the...
Did that? Yeah, looks like he let it resolve.
Yeah. Let's figure the... Okay.
He's going to spin top before he fires off the Pyroblast, it looks like.
That's smart.
Is that 3 lands? Looked like 2 of them. It's going to draw.
Draw, okay.
Still in response to the dig through time, which is currently sitting on the stack. It was a Force of Will. Force of Will pitch preordain.
Okay.
And here's the Force back.
Pitching the second Jace.
And now the Pyroblast is going to hit that Force, unfortunately, for Akash here. And he's only going to be stuck with a Force of Will in hand.
Let's see. Yeah, he's doing it. It's interesting.
Yep. Oh, wait, is that actually going at Jace? Yeah, that's going at Jace.
Okay. So
he wanted to get the Jace off the table and going right, allowing the dig through time to resolve.
Okay, I was wondering why you chose to go for the Force of Will instead of the Pyroblast, because the Pyroblast obviously already an answer, and that would explain why.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin's deck does have a little bit of difficulty dealing with a resolved Planeswalker.
Considering the second Jace is now exiled, there's no more Jaces in Akash's deck. I don't think of any sort.
No. So the dig does resolve. He's currently looking through the pile to see what he wants. He has a Force of Will in hand. He's picking up 2 new cards here. Was that Treasure Cruiser look like? Can't quite make out that card.
Something good.
Oh, Night's Whisper. Still has 1 colorless floating off the Soul Ring. Picks up Preordain and another Pyroblast. Oh, here we go.
Search for Azcanta.
Get to see some new cards in play here.
Yeah, so there's quite a few cards in Akash's graveyard right now. I think.
Is that it flips at 7 or 5 or 7?
I feel like it flips at 7.
7.
Yeah, 7 it is.
Flips at 7. Jace flips at 5.
Yeah. All these cards, counting cards in the graveyard.
So it looks like that could potentially flip very easily. Kevin plays Tasigur.
All right. Yeah, there's Search for Azcanta for you. So it lets you kind of filter your draws, and once you get to 7 cards, you're allowed to turn it into a land.
It turns into a land, and then 2 in a blue. I believe you look at the top 4, and then you get to pick one of the cards and put the rest on the bottom.
Yeah, it has to be non-creature, non-land.
Non-creature, non-land.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's going to be flipping here very shortly. And there goes the 6th card.
Force of Will.
On Tasigur.
We're probably going to see an Azcanta flip
and here we go.
It's got to be real good for him to not want it.
And Kevin just confirming the card. Let's see what he's going to do. He's tanking for it. It could be something good.
I hope it's not the Blight Seal.
Does he still have one of his Pyroblasts in hand? I still believe he does.
I do believe
he does. Dak Faden.
Oh. You know what? That one's worth keeping.
Yeah, Dak Faden feels good here. Kevin looks like only has 1 card in hand. And, yep. Only 1 card in hand for Kevin, so here we go. Dak resolves. And this is going to get 7 for, so we're going to see the search kind of conclude here, and we'll find the lost city.
Of Azcanta.
And there we go. We're pitching some extra lands here. Looks like a Pyroblast and Force of Will.
Yep. There's that top again. See if Kevin can dig into anything to create a threat on the board. Didn't like the top 3. Search for take a look and spin again, probably.
And we're spinning. So we're going to find the lost city here as soon as Kevin passes the turn. So what does Kevin have right now?
Let's see. Looks like he has nothing.
He's topping. That's what he is.
That's what he has.
Spinning.
Force of Will. Yeah, that's all I saw.
That's all I saw was a Force of Will. That's not going to do.
Yeah, but there's something a little better than
that. We're going cruising.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's going to meet the Pyroblast. And Kevin has seen enough between Dak and then finding the Lost City. It looks like that Kevin has conceded the fact he's not coming back in that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was interesting. Grixis on Grixis
Grixis
matchup.
on two very different takes on Grixis.
Absolutely.
A lot of cool cards that we haven't yet seen on camera today, so that's always fun.
Absolutely. So sideboarding
what do we have
options.
for Kevin here?
Kevin, his sideboard has a lot of different choices. There's a few ones that are dredge specific. We have 4-Light Island Void and a Grafdigger's Cage. Some anti-shops cards in Hercules. Recall as a 2 of. But there's someone, and Shattering Spree as a 3 of. But there's a few options that might come in here. There's Flusterstorm.
I'd probably be bringing the Flusterstorm here.
Yeah, they're really trying to play a game of just a game on the stack, basically.
Yeah.
Like, eventually something's going to resolve that's going to win the game, but most of the cards that are fighting are instants. Another option, I see the second Colligan's command. I don't know if that's what he wants to be doing.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, right? Because in theory, it's always going to be a 2-for-1 in theory.
Yeah.
So he has the Snapcasters too, so he can do rebuy tricks and things like that. I personally, I think I would lean on in terms of just bringing it in, to be honest.
Okay.
Depending what I'm removing.
Yeah, it does. It does go after Planeswalkers.
I like
as well.
it. You're going to get in a grindy matchup. You're going to be, exactly. You're going to be able to maybe pick off a Planeswalker or beat one down with it. Like I say, you kind of have some Snapcaster loops. You can do it. And like you saw, kind of it's going to be grindy. You're going to want card advantage, things like that, especially in this type of matchup.
Yeah. Also, there's an option of Mindbreak Trap. There are a lot of stack wars going on in these games, and especially if Flusterstorm. I don't know if there's Flusterstorm in Akash's sideboard or in his main.
So yeah, again, Mindbreak Trap, another good card where he could potentially, like you said, we're battling on the stack here. Could be something that he definitely brings in.
Yeah. How about Akash? What do you think he's going to be bringing in?
So we got Surgical Extractions. You could make the argument. I don't know if I would necessarily. He's got subterranean tremors. I can't even speak today.
Subterranean
tremors.
Oh,
Thank
boy.
you. Yeah. Let me take a drink of water real quick. Look, I'm out. What a beating.
What a beating.
Yeah, I'm not sure that quite comes in. That's more for the token decks, and
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of that port over from Legacy. Mountain, that's just a nod, A lot of, it's funny, you'll see in vintage decks a lot of times they have that one basic land in the sideboard, right? A lot of the times it's for shops. You want to have, especially if your shop's hate is red, primarily, you're going to have the mountain. If your shop hate is white, primarily, you're going to have a plains. If it's green, yada, yada, yada. He's got a Dismember. You could theoretically bring in Dismember. It's an easy way to get rid of Tasigur. He already saw the Tasigur game 1. Pyroblast definitely coming in. He's got 2 Spell Bombs and 2 Pithing Needles. I'm not sure if they come in. Maybe Needle, but I feel it's going to be pretty lean for what he's bringing in. Maybe just a Dismember and a Pyroblast. His deck is kind of set up back to what I was referring to earlier. A lot of times you see these blue decks that are quote-unquote pre-boarded for some of these matchups. So, again, he's already got the search for Azcanta. Yeah. That's a great card against blue.
Yeah,
it's
a great.
Absolutely no, exactly. I guess it's not in theory. It's semi-decent against shops, right? You can just sneak in an extra land, but
they have run. Yeah, it's true, and there's been usefulness in Jace Finn's Prodigy in blue decks before as like a way of filtering draws against
just to get extra drawing
against workshops. So search for Azcanta, the new breed of filtering, and the extra land drop is definitely a thing.
So it looks like players shuffling up. It looks like Kevin is keeping a 7. Akash is mulling to 6.
Kevin on 7.
Kevin has Preordain. Does that look like a mental misstep? 2 lands.
Yeah, Akash is going to 6.
Couldn't quite make out the rest of the cards in there.
Yeah.
Who do you favor, in this matchup now, kind of even post-board? I feel the advantage still kind of with Akash, just given how his deck's built, kind of to really battle against other blue decks.
Oh,
I like that kind of one of Thoughtseize, just kind of picking
Yeah.
stuff off here.
yeah. I'm looking through the one. The Thoughtseize is great because Thoughtseize can't be pyroblasted.
And it's funny because that's a card you don't typically see in Vintage. Duress, Thoughtseize, those discard effects.
Yeah, they're usually storm
Yeah,
cards.
exactly. Storm decks typically played them back with Dark Ritual and stuff like that. A little bit of it, I feel, is Mental Misstep kind of pushed those discard effects, so to speak, out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but it's nice because in matchups like this, Pyroblast is a huge tempo
Pyroblast
boost as well.
is so good.
Yeah, so that's why you see cards like Night's Whisper get play, because not only is it a draw spell, but it's a draw spell that avoids Pyroblast.
Yeah, I mean, and you even see a lot of times too when it's blue versus blue, you'll even sideboard down some of your Force of Wills just because you have the Pyroblast. You don't want to have that. You don't want to be getting 2 for 1, especially in such a grindy matchup like this. It looks like it's going to play out to be.
Yeah. So Preordain off of the Volcanic, and Akash's attempt to look at Kevin's hand is
Goes
misstep.
turn. Yep.
Oh,
and we are fighting over this Gataxian probe here.
6 total life paid so far on this deck.
There's a reason it's restricted. Look at this. We're just fighting over it.
Yep. All right, fine, you can see it.
Fine, you can see a Brainstorm with a Santa Claus hat. 'Tis the season to be jolly. A Force of Will, a Mox Emerald, and we have another land.
That Brainstorm is delightful.
Yes, it is. Christmas is just around the corner. I better not hear any Christmas music yet, though, because we still have Halloween and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, especially still have Thanksgiving. Don't let them loose on November 1st
exactly.
either.
And it looks like you just picked up another Mental Misstep.
That's good. That'll help his Brainstorm resolve.
And recall in response. And there's the misstep that Kevin just drew.
Yep. You didn't know about this one, buddy.
And it looks like that Brainstorm will resolve. We picked up another Mental Misstep for Kevin, a Black Lotus, and I think a Preordain. And let's see what else. And he still has that Force in hand.
So he's able to.
Here we go. We have on the other side of the table. We have a Dak Fade in, a land. Can't quite make out what else we have in there.
I think I see some sort of artifact mana as well. Possible turn 2.
A Mox here.
Yeah.
Just run it out.
Some sort of Mox. I mean, he has the colors in his lands already, so maybe Dak will be the player's turn.
So misstep, Force, and land. So how likely are you here with the? I gotta see what else he has in his hand. Here we go. Do you just run out the Dak Fade and try to get a 2 for 1 here? With Kevin being only down to 3 cards?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
I'm glad he did. Yeah.
And then Kevin's obviously gonna force here. Sometimes you just got to run right into the counter, you know, especially in a matchup where it's grindy like this. There's value into getting just some 2 for 1s when you can, even though, you kind of throw a spell out.
Yeah. It's it is a card count game. Like, this is just, you're trying to get an edge on your opponent. You're trying to outdraw them. You're trying to make them kind of go under in cards, and that's one way of doing it.
Even back in Legacy, like the Delver matchups, you just always board out your forces, you know.
Fortunately,
we'll be seeing that a lot tomorrow. Even with the check pile decks and stuff like that, you just bring out your forces. You play like Pyroblast and things like that, just because you're gonna get into a real grindy matchup. The 2 for 1s. I mean, Kevin obviously thinks about kept it in because you just never know if they have Vault Key tinker out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just it's interesting in that fact why Legacy you almost auto board the Force of Wills out, whereas in Vintage, because especially when you don't have access to a list, you almost kind of want to keep in your forces just because it's well, what if they go, oops, Tinker Blightsteel and I'm dead?
Yeah.
Or just, oops, Vault Key, I'm dead.
Yeah, it's just so much faster that that's just not an option.
So you'll be seeing Force of Wills a lot less tomorrow in Game 2s and 3.
Yeah.
pitches the Lotus. We don't need Lotus here, guys.
It's just not good enough right now.
No. Strip. Oh, there we go.
That one on the other hand.
And Kevin, he's a solid player. He's the type of person that even though he didn't have anything to play there, he's always going to float the mana there.
Yeah.
And we have a Preordain. It looks like land, and the land got shipped.
It looked like a Pearl.
Pearl?
The Pearl got shipped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is basically a land in his deck.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a top. I cannot tell what that card is.
I think one of them was an altered unhinged land.
Oh. It looks like Akash picked up a other piece of artifact mana. So Kevin is hell-bent just going off of the top right now. And Dak is going to show why he is the greatest thief in the multiverse now, stealing a Mox Sapphire. And Demonic Tutor here. With no cards in hand, I feel that he's probably going to go for an Ancestral and hope there's not a misstep on top of the library. Or no, he already used Ancestral, so... Oh, we don't even get the peek to see what he got. Definitely not an Ancestral, though. Maybe a Snapcaster? Stealing the Dak, he could, or Mox Sapphire, though, it looks like he could have set up a play where he's going now just for Jace the Mind Sculptor. That got him the 4 mana. And Kevin just trying to really find something on top here. Keep shuffling, spinning the top, looking for some action. He's going to need to eventually answer that Dak Faden. And we have a Colleen's Command. And it looks like he's going to target him, redirect to kill Dak Faden, and I'm not sure what the other mode he picked was. What was the other mode? Did he just, I'm not sure what the other mode was on that one. Oh, discard, okay. So it looks like he did 2 to Akash, redirect Dak Faden, and made him discard. And Akash stole the Mox Sapphire to get the Jace, get the 4 mana to get to the Jace. That's probably what the Demonic Tutor target was. And then Kevin, not quite sure what he has in hand there. Looks like a Snapcaster, a land, not sure what the other card is. And so he gets a Snapcaster. And Akash looks like wants to try to sculpt the game in a way where he's just using Jace to drive to victory.
Yeah, sure looks like it.
Kevin does not have a ton going on top of his library right now. Just has the Snapcaster in hand. He's going to go for the Brainstorm. Pyroblast, 2 lands. Akash does have a fetch land, though, so he'll be able to kind of get a relook on the top. Picked up a Knight's Whisper as well.
As much as he wants to ride that Jace to victory, the top being out there and that Knight's Whisper.
Well, yeah, sometimes you just got to try to close the game.
Exactly. Certainly trying to.
And that's what he's looking to do here before Kevin can kind of draw out. I mean, and we've seen earlier today just, you know, people just to be able to draw out of certain situations like this, just because the raw power level of the cards, you know, like a Dig Through Time or a Treasure Cruise just out of nowhere can just really kind of pull you back into the game.
Might be why we can only play one of those these days.
Yes. So Kevin looks like spinning, picked up a Dak of his own. And it looks like that's what he kept. So he has Dak and Snapcaster in hand. And he's going to run out Dak. And that's going to meet one of the Pyroblasts there.
Yeah, Akash has just been...
Akash feels very far ahead right now. He just picked up a Mana Drain.
Yeah.
And he's got Knight's Whisper here.
Yeah, I think, despite the top, I think Akash might be able to still plus Jace this turn.
Did he? It looks like he just picked up yet another Pyroblast too. Yeah, this is and a Force of Will. Oh, 2 Force of Wills. So, oh, and he has a backup Jace. So this really feels like it's Akash's game to lose here. Kevin's going to need some very good draws off the top here to even try to pull this game within reason. Let's see if Kevin can get there. We're going to spin top again.
Yeah, he didn't like what...
Nope.
He kept second from the top, so... Looks like a land.
I think we're kind of coming down to inevitability here.
Kevin's just thinking through his options because this is not looking very good.
No, this is not looking very promising at all for Kevin. I'm not sure what he can... I'm not even sure there is a combination of cards in his deck that he can really draw here. Looking through his list, I don't really see too much that can pull him out of this one.
No.
Given the defenses that Akash now has. I think you almost let that Demonic Tutor resolve. Just look at how much counter. Yeah, and that's what he's going to do. Akash just has so much counter magic that he's really at a low risk for what Kevin can get here.
Yeah, I feel like well, Kevin's plan is definitely to get rid of Jace first. So Pyroblast definitely looks like the best option there. But Mana Drain in Akash's hand can take care of that. And if he tries to do any kind of trickery back.
Kevin's pulled Gush.
He's pulled Gush.
So Kevin hasn't made a land drop yet either. So
okay. He's going to be a little disappointed in that one as well.
This is going to turn out really poor. Yep, and I've got to feel that one is going to meet one of the Pyroblasts. Or even the Mana Drain. You get 5 free mana. But yeah, Akash doesn't really have anything to do with that mana currently, so it makes sense just doing the Pyroblast.
Yeah.
Also, you run into those situations where you might need the Mana Drain for a spell that's non-blue, so you might as well use the Pyroblast while you can.
So now that the top's gone, he feels a little safer just chasing.
Yep, and this is where I feel the game is going to be out of reach for Kevin, running into Jace inevitability. Akash's hands still just double Force, Jace, Mana Drain, and it looks like he picked up a Brainstorm. Snapcaster. And now Kevin's just playing Snapcaster just to buy himself some time. I think I would just fire off the Mana Drain here.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, or just hard cast the Force.
You can do that too. That's fine.
Yeah, this one is going to be all she wrote here.
Yeah. Kevin's playing it to the best of his ability. But
I mean, you always still got to play to your outs. You know?
And he certainly does. But at the end of the day, somebody has to win the game, even if both players are playing.
Yeah, I mean, controlling the draw. I mean, what else does Kevin have that he could potentially run? Like you said, yeah, nothing. The problem is at this point, it doesn't look like anything's going to resolve.
Yeah, I mean, we can try Duretti.
Yep, and we have Duretti. Akash has not seen that card yet.
Yeah, I don't think he was Duretti for that one.
Ooh. You've been waiting all match to say that, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
I immediately looked at the deck list and I'm like, I hope that hits play. So, I mean, Akash has such a
Yeah, and
large
we're
number.
just hard casting forcibles at this point.
Yeah.
And then Jace tick up to 11.
Yeah, I wanna say that there's some hope for Kevin, that there's something that could happen. The only thing that really he seems to be doing at this point is just slowing Akash down. He's not stopping him by any means.
Akash wants more cards. We're gonna brainstorm first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look at more of my deck.
which is a testament to Kevin fighting back, because that turn he didn't feel safe enough to fate seal Kevin. And sure enough,
Jace.
try my own.
And that's gonna meet the mana drain.
Yeah, that one's worth it. Ran out of Force of Wills too.
That met the manadrain.com.
Yeah, if you ever are interested in discussing,
If you want to learn about vintage,
if you want to learn about vintage, there's many resources out there, one of which is the tried and true the manadrain.com, which has existed for quite some time. Gone through many iterations, many owners.
Away plug. Brassman owns the mana drain.
Yeah, and he's here this weekend.
Yes, he was actually on feature earlier.
Yeah, first round playing.
Great website. That's what got me into vintage. Picks up a Pyroblast here, and Jace is going to tick up now to 11. We have Brainstorm, Pyroblast. He has all the wares. Akash is that guy in a role-playing game you see in the corner with the big trench coat on, and he's like, I got what you need. And he just has exactly what he needs at this point in the game.
That was certainly colorful imagery there, Mark.
I wanted it to be the script.
That was certainly a description. All right, so Jace has hit the lucky number 13. Next turn, just fire it off and ultimate Jace. Provided, I mean, he left it on top. There's nothing that can really happen right now.
It was a mountain. And Kevin extends the hand, and there we go. Akash taking down Kevin. 2 games to 0. So, and I got to, like I said, I feel Akash definitely had some of the advantage there.
Yeah, absolutely.